Hello, everybody. Welcome to Critical Beauty Salon. Today, this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are, we have a special guest, and her name is Ingrid Santamaria. As many of you remember Sam, she competed in Miss Universe Philippines 2021, and she placed the top 10. But this time, she's back in pageantry and she's competing in Miss World Philippines 2022. So I'm so excited to welcome her back to my show. So we're just waiting for her to log in. So if you guys have any questions for Sam, please feel free to type in your question in the chat box, and I'll be more than happy to read the questions and your comments to Sam. I think she's in the waiting room. Hey.
Hi.
Did you just wake up?
Yeah,
Did you have breakfast yet?
I did. I did have breakfast already.
What did you have? Pandesal?
I had 2 eggs.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's my healthy protein in the morning. And I have some coffee.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I love coffee. What kind of coffee are you drinking right now?
Black coffee.
Is it like Filipino coffee or Colombian?
It's actually, yeah, it's a Filipino brand that I order liters of, and I just pour it in the morning so don't have a hard time.
Oh, okay. So you drink black. I usually drink black coffee when the coffee is actually really, really good. But other than that, I
Yeah.
usually add sugar, or sometimes cream. There are days where I just feel like adding something to it.
Yeah.
You know what? It's weird because you look so different.
What do you mean?
You look like you lost weight. You look thinner.
Thank you. We've been trying to reach a certain goal, so I'm trying my best.
And thank God you have a different background because the last time we spoke, you had that stupid plastic flower in the background. I'm so happy you got rid of it.
I had a curtain and they were like, it's so boring. So I was like, I can put a flower.
Yeah, anything. But are you in your house right now?
I'm in my house, yes. I moved to a different room.
Okay, okay, that's good. I like the lighting. I like your dress. Oh, nice. Is it like polka dots? They have polka
Yes,
dots, right?
for good luck.
Ooh, I love it. Not wonderful. So I'm so glad that we are able to reconnect again because the last time we spoke was, I think, August last year, 2021.
It's been a
Uh,
while.
it's been a while, so a couple of months before you competed in Miss Universe Philippines. And of course, everybody knows you made the top 10.
Thank you. Thank you.
And and I said to him, I was like, oh my God, I really wish she should have like gotten one of the titles in Miss Universe Philippines. But then again, you know what? She's gonna come back. And I was right. You came back. You came back and you're now competing in Miss World Philippines 2022. Which brings me to the first question, darling. What
Okay.
prompted you to join Miss World Philippines 2022? Come on, what's up?
Actually, this is a cute little story I'd like to share. It's not a secret that it's been a little bit hard to convince some of my family members, to back me in this journey in life, just because a lot of them are really overprotective and they just prefer, a quieter life. But I remember the day that I finished finals at the Miss Universe Philippines bubble. I finished finals, I made it to top 10, and I got a call from my grandmother. And my grandmother is somebody who's very reserved, very quiet, and she just silently supported my decision. But in that call, she said, you know what, Sam, this is something that you have worked so hard on, and I've seen how you've grown through this entire experience. And you know what? I think that you owe it to yourself to just try one more time. And, that hit me really hard because it's something that she saw potential in me for. And that really pushed me to try again this year, work harder, come back stronger. And I feel like that's something I have done. And why Miss World? Miss World, because I feel like I'm a better fit for that pageant. Not every queen gets it on the first try. And sometimes that's because they're actually in the wrong pageant. And I weigh the pros and cons of joining Miss Universe again or joining Miss World. And I said, I want a new journey this year. I want to prove myself in a different way. And I really want to speak about things that I'm passionate about, through this new platform. So that's why I chose Miss World.
Well, I think that's exactly a wonderful, amazing, reason. And not only that, but I think you don't want to have any regrets in your life. Like, let's say like 5 years from now, when you're aged out in competing in a pageant, you look back, oh my God, damn it, I should have like joined Miss World Philippines. Now it's too late, So I'm glad you did. Yeah, I'm glad you made a wise decision. But two different systems. How did you prepare yourself to transition from Miss Universe Philippines to Miss World Philippines as far as preparation goes?
Well, I've still been training with the same mentors. I'm still training under the camp. And I feel that, sticking with the same core team, surrounding yourself with strong people who really believe in you has pushed me to become an even better version of myself. And this time around, we've been really, really laser focused on areas where I need improvement, aka my pasarela.
I was going to ask you that.
My pasarela, we've been working really hard on, and it's something that I can say that I can finally own. So this year, I'm really excited for that. We've been working really, really hard on getting over that sort of nervousness or stage fright I have with the Q&A. I've been really working a lot on that. We have a new trainer, Miss Shaila Anarata, who has been really pushing me every single day to practice all of the questions under the sun. And really, more holistically, I've been just more focused on sharpening every single aspect for this journey.
That's wonderful. Now, as far as your pasarela goes, do you have a signature walk? Is there such thing as a Santamaria walk?
It's funny because recently they've crowned it as the Alta Walk, which
the Alta Walk, okay.
Which I feel like sort of encapsulates who I am, not in that sort of way, but really it's a walk that shows grace and elegance and confidence in simplicity. And I feel like that is something that I can own on the stage and something that you guys can look forward to.
That's wonderful. So it's really nothing campy. I'm sorry, the word campy comes to my mind. Nothing campy like Miss Grand International walks, where the girls twirl 4 times on stage and then kick their heels and whatnot, and then they scream their names and whatnot. I thought that was really nice. Well, that's great. That's great. I can't wait to see you walk. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, during coronation night, I think 7 crowns will be distributed to 7 lucky winners. I know that your heart may be set for Miss World Philippines crown, but just in case you don't get that crown, are there other crowns that you're looking forward to winning?
To be really honest with you, I super have my eyes set on representing the Philippines for Miss World because I just feel like that's where I belong and that's where I'm called to. So, if I don't win, of course, that's okay with me. I'd love to represent the Philippines in another international pageant, but I just can't get my heart to decide on something else that is in this world.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I mean, 7 titles, 7 crowns, anyone would be happy to grab any of those.
Of course.
I mean, I think basically all of the international competitions. I think Miss Eco International is one of the newest pageants. But Supranational is a wonderful pageant. It has great reputation. Grand International, but I don't see you the type of going to Grand. To be honest, I think either Miss World or maybe Supra. So I think because you have that that star quality. And I think you perform very well on stage, and that's what Supernational is all about. They focus on stage presence and stuff. So anyway, I wish you good luck.
Thank you
Now,
so much.
reading some of the comments in the chat box, someone is, oh yeah, I remember Sam in Miss Universe Philippines. What is his last edition's most expensive contestant? Is that true?
That's
What do you
so
mean most
funny.
expensive contestant? What does that mean?
I think that's probably in terms of my styling. I had a really great styling team with me last year. And this year we're switching it up a little bit, and hopefully I come out stronger. And also I want to just express myself in different ways this year. So I hope I continue to make you guys proud.
Wonderful. Somebody's asking, did you ever train with the new Miss Universe Philippines, Celeste Cortese?
I haven't actually trained with Celeste, but that's also because there's been a lot of, lockdowns, especially in the start of the year when we had an Omicron outbreak. It was just really difficult to be able to train more than one-on-one with our mentors. But I have met Celeste and we've had dinner together. She is such a worthy candidate, and I couldn't be more proud of her.
That's great. Would you say that you're a dreamer, doer, or both?
I definitely would have to say both on this one. Ever since I was young, I was always taught to dream big, but my mother always told me that a dream is nothing without the hard work you put into it. And I've always lived in that way. I've always had a great work ethic. And if there's something I set my eyes on, I will do whatever it takes to get there. And just like that, I am a dreamer and a doer.
That's wonderful. I think it's always good to have a dream, because once you have the dream, it's always easier to fulfill that dream. If you actually have a plan, and if you actually put your entire heart and mind and soul and blood into it, and sweat, by the way, all of the bodily fluids. Now, of course, you're very fashionable. Yeah. How do you describe your personal style, your sense of style?
Honestly, I would say that apart from this part of my life where I'm prim and proper and I'm Queen Ingrid, you would find normal Sam just laid back. I describe my style as very relaxed. I'm very much so a white t-shirt and jeans kind of girl. And on my weekends and in my free time, you'll definitely find me in a bathing suit lying on the.
Now, do you have any fashion icons? Do you look up to, I don't know, maybe Audrey Hepburn or Jennifer Lopez or any Lady Gaga, maybe? Is this a fashion icon?
One of my personal style icons is really Blake Lively. She's somebody
okay, yeah, I like her.
I've watched, growing up, and from movies to her TV show, Sister of a Traveling Pants, Gossip Girl. I've always felt like she has that cool girl look, but in a relaxed sort of way. And she always looks put together, no matter how messy her hair is. So
yeah. And she's also, and you know what? She has one of the most elegant, beautiful faces in Hollywood, I think. I mean, she has high cheekbones, her skin is flawless and everything. Comment! Sam, she's so eloquent. I could listen to her all day.
Oh my goodness.
Me
Thank
too.
you. Thank you.
Me too. Question: what lessons did you learn from Miss Universe Philippines that you'll be bringing to Miss World Philippines campaign?
I can't just name one. There is so much to learn from experience that you wouldn't really be able to know if you didn't do. And I'm super grateful that I was actually able to test the waters with one of the most prestigious pageants, because in Miss Universe, I was not only able to, learn to take care of myself, learn how to, of course, do my hair and makeup every single day and choose my outfits and things like that. But more than that, I learned to love my sisters. I learned to trust in the people that are around me. And really, one thing I really learned on that stage was just to let go, just to let go of all of your worries and all of your fears and all of your doubts, and just do your best. And once you train enough, once you're already, working your muscles, your muscle memory kicks in, and on that stage, you just have to let your training do the work for you. So that's exactly what I'll bring.
Good. I totally agree. That's an amazing attitude. Comment. I love Sam.
Oh my gosh.
I'm from Parañaque, and I'm so proud she represented our city. I'm rooting for you this year, Sammy. Cool.
Aw, thank you. Laban Parañaque.
Laban Parañaque. Question, is Rajo Laurel still your designer for Miss World Philippines?
That will have to be decided still. I cannot really reveal the final outfit choice for the designer, but Tito Rajo is always here to support me, and he's always lending me clothes anytime I need them. So you might be able to see some of his outfits here and there.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's going to be a big surprise, so that's for sure. Okay, as you know, the Philippine presidential elections will take place this Monday. Are you going to vote?
Yes, I am a proud registered voter. I'm really excited.
Woo, woo, woo. Without revealing the name of your candidate, what qualities are you looking for in a president?
Well, as somebody who's been a leader throughout different points in my life, I've looked up to a lot of leaders, and the leaders that I look up to always possess these three qualities. The first one I would really have to say is good communication. With good communication comes transparency, and once you're finally transparent with the people, you can show the plans, you can solve all of the problems, and really understand what's going on, and people aren't left in the dark. Another thing that I really look for in a good leader is somebody who acts with empathy, somebody who listens to what the problems are around you, and somebody who tries to find ways to solve those problems, and really somebody who has a heart for the people. And lastly, the biggest thing that I would think a leader should have is accountability. I think that a leader should be firm in their actions, and they should stand for what it is that they believe in. And with all those three things, I feel, our country will be able to develop.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I love that you're wearing black and you're not wearing neither red nor pink. So there's a lot of mystery.
No agendas here.
No agendas. She's very neutral today and totally objective, people. Okay, I love that. And beauty queens are supposed to be neutral. They're supposed to represent the entire country, not just one particular group. So good for you for wearing polka dot black. Now, here's a question: should you be elected? I don't know if you're planning of running to politics someday, but if you were elected president, what would be the first action you would take?
Well, our country needs a lot of reform, but the first thing I would do as president is really allocate a big chunk of the budget toward quality education for all, because we have so many out of school youth. I think around 3 to 4 million of our children, 25% is out of school. And especially with this pandemic, they don't have the resources to be able to continue their learnings online. And hopefully with that allocated budget, I'll be able to have enough funds to give to the local governments that will supply the children with, tools and gadgets that will help them with their online learning, instead of them, dropping out because they don't have the resources. So that's something I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, I agree totally. And I think every child should have access to the internet, really.
Definitely.
because people not only, and you really don't have to go to physical school to learn something, because you can actually learn a lot of things just by through your computer, through the internet, So that's great. Um, Comments. Please be ready for a 4 to 5 hour pageant night. Yeah, Miss World Philippines is going to be a long, dragging pageant. I remember watching it last year. Poor Tracy, she collapsed like twice, I think.
No, but
Poor
she stood up
thing.
like a queen, really.
Yeah, she did. She was awesome. But I really wish they could like shorten it to just like 3.5 hours tops. That's it.
Hopefully this year, the organization is able to address those concerns. And, coming from the recent meetings we've had, it sounds like it'll be a more promising and less, I don't want to say dragging, but a less dragging.
Dragging. Fast-paced, more like
yeah,
it.
more fast-paced than.
Yeah. Wonderful. Comment from Kenneth says, no contest. Sam is Miss World Philippines 2022. Neil says, good job, Sam. Someone asking, will your Beauty with a Purpose program be about education?
It is related to education. So if you want me to speak about my Beauty with a Purpose program, in a nutshell, what I really advocate for is youth-led community building. I've been a part of my own local youth community here in Parañaque. I've been an active member and a leader for the last 11 years. And for my Beauty with a Purpose, what I've decided to do is to branch out into another place where my roots are actually planted. I've partnered with the out-of-school youth in Cebu and the Philippine Outrigger Canoeing Club together with JCI Zubuanga. What we do there is we have this project called the Sea of Dreams. And every time you support canoeing lessons, or if you just come to Mactan Beach and try out canoeing, those proceeds go to out-of-school youth. And these out-of-school youth are able to enroll back in their school for an entire year. And on top of that, they're also able to be a part of a paddling community, which is a huge community there in Cebu. And what they're trying to do really is make Mactan the capital of paddling in Southeast Asia. And it's a really cool thing because not only are they able to continue with their education, but they have, the drive and the will to continue it, because then they also get to paddle, they also get to canoe and do these water sports that helps them, be active and also be with their own set of friends, which is a really important thing at a young age.
Wow, talk about paddling for education. I love that. Are you a good paddler?
I would not say I am good, but I would say that it's something I really enjoy doing. So it's really like a love-hate work in progress sort of relationship.
Now, would you consider yourself a privileged citizen of your country?
I wake up every single day with food on my plate, and I don't have to worry about where my next meal is coming from. And I think just exactly that, especially here in the Philippines, in a third world country, is already considered a privilege. Many of our countrymen don't even know where their next 5 pesos, 10 pesos is coming from. And that privilege that I have is why I am driven to continue speaking about my purpose and to continue spreading my advocacy for out of school youth. Because I was able to have an education when I was young, and now I'm able to use that education in different careers and whatever sparks my interest, and I'm able to, build something for myself. And if given the opportunity, I would really wish that every child would have that same privilege that I did, so that we can all lift our country up together and make it a better Philippines.
You know what? Speaking of money and the value of Philippine peso, can you can you still buy something with 1 peso only? What can you buy with 1 peso?
Maybe you could buy a piece of candy.
Piece of candy? Okay.
Yeah.
How much would like a small cup of Starbucks coffee cost there?
A small cup of Starbucks coffee is around 130 pesos, 150 pesos.
So that would be divided by 50 in US dollars. Okay, well that's not too bad. That's actually cheap. Yeah. So that's good. That's good. But Filipinos definitely need to look after themselves as far as education and, of course, the economy is concerned. A comment from Kenneth. I think Sam will look amazing in a white evening gown. Her aura will be very queenly. Take note, Sam. White gown.
Notes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, what is the most valuable gift you can give to others? I know that question is so cheesy. I debated, should I ask Sam this question because it's so cheesy? But you know what? I'm going to take a chance. Sam, what is the most valuable gift you can give to others?
You know, I'm somebody whose love language is really quality time. So I value when people spend their time with me, and I'm somebody who's very, very busy. My days are booked to a T, especially now these days. You know, I have training for more than half the day, and the rest of the time I just go to sleep. And if I'm able to give you some time in my day, if I'm able to comment on your picture or reply to you or even just give you a call, I feel like that's the most valuable thing I'll be able to give, you know, a piece of my time.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. You know, it's funny too, because, people would brag, oh, how many friends do you have? Oh, I have like 2,000, 3,000 friends on Facebook, but do you really know each and every one of them? No. Your closest friends will be the actual people that you actually know in your area, people that you've met physically and interacted face to face. I mean, to me personally, I would consider those people my friends. All the other ones are just strangers or who want to control your social media pages and whatnot. So that's good.
Yeah. And I really believe that, you know, if you have a core group of friends, so just keep that friendship tight and you'll be good.
And you only need like what, maybe 2, 3, 4 good friends. The others, who cares? You know, keep it small. That's it. No, I know you're a book reader. Are you currently reading a book?
I am currently reading a book, but to be honest, it's a little difficult for me to finish it at the moment. And I'm not sure if you've read it, but it's called The Unbearable Lightness of Being.
By Milan Kundera, of course. Yes. It was one of the required courses in college. Yeah.
Usually I'm like a reader for leisure. You know, I like to read to escape, and you know, I usually like chick lit and things that are easy and light. But my cousin Matt Laurel actually recommended this book to me, and I've been trying my best to keep up with it, and I've gotten a big chunk of it done. I just haven't finished the end yet. And what's really interesting is that, you know, it has a lot of morals to the story. And one of them is that you are able to choose what path of life that you want to go on. And you have to weigh which one is sort of heavier. Is being alone what you want to do, or is heartbreak worse? So that's some food for thought.
They actually made a movie about that book, but I would recommend you to finish reading the book first before watching the movie, because sometimes, you know, the movie people, they tend to deviate a lot from the intention of the author, of the writer. But I recommend that you finish the book first and then opt to read the movie later. Good. Now, do you keep a diary? Are you a journalist?
I am a little bit of a journalist. Yes, I actually have been writing entries in my diary here and there from, I would say, around 8 years old. I'm not like an everyday journaler or anything, but you know, if I have some quiet time at night and nobody's bothering me and I'm not on my phone, I like to take out my journal and just, you know, write about what happened to me, how my feelings are, and how I think the things are going to line up for me in the future. And it's been really cute actually seeing my journal entries from when I was young
Yeah.
and moving through the years and seeing how, my thought process has changed and I've grown and matured. And it's nice to like see a little piece of myself from the past.
When you started writing your diary, did you use the keyboard or did you write by hand?
I had this, I actually still have it until now. It's this little purple notebook that's
Okay.
fluffy and cheetah print, that kind with a little lock that a child has. And
Okay.
I would just like write it down manually. I'm very
Okay.
much a physical pen and paper kind of girl.
So you write cursive. You still write cursive writing.
Yes,
Because a
I
lot of
write in my assumption script, which has been ingrained in me from when I was a child.
yeah, 'cause a lot of people don't know how to write cursive anymore, which is sad. Which is really sad.
Yeah.
I think they need to require cursive writing again.
Really?
Now, I think so because if you don't know how to read cursive, how are you going to read some of the old historical documents that were written in cursive? You know,
That's actually a
and
valid point.
how do you even write your signature? You can't print your signature.
It's
It has
friend.
to be cursive, right? Or just X.
Yeah, yeah.
We all have fears, Sammy baby. What is your greatest fear?
Honestly, you already mentioned it a while ago. My greatest fear really is living life with regret. And I'm somebody who's already had a near death experience. I'm somebody who's lucky enough to be on her second life, and every single day is a blessing for me. And every time that I do something, I do it because I am like I'm more excited to get over the fear of doing it. If I'm afraid of heights or whatever, that I am more excited of doing that than being scared of regretting that in the future. Because there have been a lot of things in this life that I've just tried for the first time. What they say, YOLO. I've YOLO'd for the first time, and I've really loved, like, for example, canoeing. That's something that I never saw myself doing until I was invited by one of my trainers to do it. And it's those things that you try for the first time that you can really savor and cherish. So, you know, I think that living your life every day with purpose and without any regrets is.
Well, the expression carpe diem, seize the day. You know,
Yes, of course.
yeah, we only have one life to live. That's true. And then, like, not to sound morbid, but when you think of it, every day is like a step closer to death, so to speak. But when you think of that, there's also a positive connotation because when you think about death, it really propels you to do something, to be productive, to do something, as part of your legacy that you want to leave behind.
Exactly.
Some of the greatest artists and writers, feared death to the point of they became very productive about their works, and that's how they became immortal after they died, so to speak. So yeah. Okay, this is from death to something political. What are your thoughts on the legalization of marijuana? Is marijuana legal in the Philippines?
It is not legal in the Philippines, but my stand on the legalization of marijuana really revolves around it also being regulated. There are a lot of studies that show that medical marijuana has helped so many patients through different sorts of diseases, whether that's glaucoma, something even I myself personally diagnosed to be at the risk of having in the future. It's said to help treat PTSD. It's said to help reduce anxiety and pain. And, a lot of people around the world are able to use it as medicine, as a form of healing. And if you take it correctly, if you take it at the right dosage and prescribed by a medical practitioner, then it's helping you instead of doing more harm. Then I think that, that's something that should be considered to be legalized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I live in a town where we just have acquired two marijuana dispensaries.
Mhm.
both for recreational and one and another one for medical purposes. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of medical, reasons why people can use marijuana. Although I still have to try marijuana lace cookies. I've always been tempted. Like, what do they taste like? Marijuana lace cookies,
I actually do not know. Let me know when you try.
Yes, I will. I will. Now, okay, here's an interesting question. If you could meet or have lunch with somebody famous in history, who would it be and why?
Well, this is where my sporty side really comes out. I would have really loved to have lunch with Kobe Bryant. You know, he's
Oh,
somebody who I've looked up to
yeah.
from a young age. I watched my brothers and my dad watch him on screen. And I myself, when I play basketball, he's somebody I looked up to. And the thing about him is that he has this thing called the Mamba mentality, which is really being driven to achieve something because of your purpose and because of your passion. And that's something that I've also tried to live my life by. And, if I had the chance to talk to him, I would have really loved to know a lot more of his motivation behind his actions and really just how he has created his own legacy for himself.
He was definitely, unquestionably, one of the best basketball players ever. And it was such a tragedy, a big tragedy that we lost him, too soon. So yeah. Um, Here's an interesting question. Sam, if I gave you $1,000, what would you do with it?
Well, I've really been speaking passionately about my project, and I know it's sort of the typical answer to donate, but what I would really do with $1,000 is around 52,000 pesos these days, and it only takes 20,000 pesos to send one out of school youth child to school for an entire year. And with the Philippine Outrigger Canoeing Club, and JCI, who I've been working with, not only are we able to provide that child with the necessary fees for education, but that also comes with the tools like laptops and gadgets. And it also gives a fund for them to be able to train to compete locally and internationally in their paddling. And, of course, it's something I'm passionate about. So it's really something that I would do with those $1,000. I'd be able to sponsor
Right.
two of them, two children.
Two children. Okay, that's amazing. Now, I don't know how big your closet is, but what item in your closet have you had the longest?
You know what? I actually have a great story for this. I remember when I was graduating college, I went, instead of asking, graduating high school, instead of asking my mom for a grad gift, I told her, I want to see something new. I want to travel the world and I want to experience a different culture. So what she did was she took me and my sister on our first ever trip to Europe, and we went to Italy. And in Italy, they have a lot of great fine leather. And at that time, I was in high school. I was really, really obsessed with this show called The Vampire Diaries. And they were
Yeah.
always decked out in leather jackets. And I thought it was
Mhm.
so cool. So what I did was I saved all of my pocket money from that trip and I invested it in this leather jacket that I love to pieces. I've had it since 2013, and until now, I have it almost, what is it, 9 years later? It
Yeah.
still fits perfect. The quality is still amazing. And, I've learned to take care of it because I spent my own pocket money on that. So
Seriously. Yeah.
really, it's something that I really treasure. And it's also a cute memory. Every time I wear it, I'm like, oh, I bought this the first time with my mom as I went on a trip. And it's really cute.
So it's one of those things that you'll probably never give up or
Oh,
give to somebody else. Oh, what about auctioning it off? Like one of these days, hey, we're looking for beauty queens to donate some of their old wardrobe. Sam, would you be willing to donate your leather jacket?
Well, if it's, for a worthy cause, then how could I say no, right?
Okay, good, 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 good. Now, speaking of inventions, what do you think is the best invention of the century so far?
Well, I would be lying to you if I told you I wasn't glued to my phone 24/7.
Okay.
Of course, the invention of the smartphone has brought technology to our fingertips. We're able to capture moments, unlimited amount of moments, and we're able to connect with those loved ones who are far away. And that's something really important to me. And of course, on top of that, we're able to have access to all kinds of information on the internet. And that is really such a privilege.
I totally agree. I don't think I can live without my smartphone. I mean, it's like a lifeline. You need it. Actually, I only have one iPhone, but you know what? I'm thinking of getting a second one just in case the first one breaks or run out of data or something. But we'll see. I love my iPhone. What kind of iPhone do you have? I have an iPhone 12 Pro.
I have an iPhone 13, not Pro, just normal.
Yeah, I mean, they're awesome. And live with my iPhone. As a public figure, Sam, you are subjected to scrutiny. What is the hardest piece of criticism that you have ever received, and how did you deal with it?
I can't really name, like a specific hardest piece of criticism, but I think that the hardest piece of criticism really is criticism that comes from strangers online, from trolls and haters and bashers, people who don't even really know your story and where you're coming from, and just find ways to sort of bring you down. And sometimes their comments are really just so mean that it sticks to my head, and it really gets to me, and it makes me feel less worthy and less loved. And I know now, looking back at all of that, I know that these people are just sort of coming from a different place than I am. But having to deal with that kind of hate and criticism really, I think, has made me stronger. It's made me a lot tougher skinned, and now these days I'm able to distinguish between a hate comment and a comment that really just is trying to tell me to improve and to be better. So it would have to be from them.
Yeah, I mean, how do you pretty much handle, everybody is aware of mental awareness and mental illness and whatnot. How do you deal with all this mental stress? Sadly, we know what happened to Miss USA 2019.
Oh yeah.
Chesley Chris, that was very sad. At 30, she decided to just end her life. But it's so hard because you're dealing with total strangers who do not know you, and you don't know them. But yet sometimes you allow these people to just basically control your lives. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to put an end to it. But I guess you just have to be bold and brave, because it's your life,
Well, one thing that has really helped me is really surrounding myself with people, my core people, my family members and my best friends, who really not only support me, but also stick up for me. They tell me to my face, this comment is just telling you to improve, or this comment shouldn't even get to your head, because you're not ugly, you're not mean, that there's nothing wrong you've done. So what's the point in letting that thought sit in your head? So a lot of the time I need my friends and family to really help snap me out of it. And in the same way, I like to also be there for my friends and family, when they're having a hard time, when I see that they're not their usual happy selves. I always try my best to reach out, because you really never know when somebody's going through it.
Exactly. In other words, sometimes it's okay not to be okay. Okay?
I agree. Okay. I agree.
I have an imaginary box in front of me, Sam. What do you think's inside of it?
I think that it is a huge platter of jolly spaghetti. Oh my gosh, jolly spaghetti is something I've been craving for the longest time. But of course, I've been really, really rigorous with my training and diet. So, maybe it's something you can enjoy for me this time.
It's funny because I had spaghetti for dinner, so
Oh
yeah,
my god!
so funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, I had spaghetti, one of those commercial ones. So
That's my absolute favorite. It's such a comfort food for me.
good. Now, if you could go back in time, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I've always been somebody who was more reserved, somebody who kind of is apprehensive before she takes her next step. But through the years, I've learned that it's not scary really to make a first step towards something new. So I would tell my younger self to sort of relax a little bit, like stop criticizing every single thing you do, because that's how you grow, that's how you learn, that's how you become a better, stronger version of yourself. And just, to not be afraid to make those mistakes.
I totally agree. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to be able to look back, and again, it's part of your evolution as a human being. It's part of your personal development evolution. So yeah, I mean, when I look at myself, like what I did like 15 years ago, like, oh my God, I really do that? Did I really did I really insult old people? Oh my God, I was so mean.
Yeah. And I think it's important to know that people are allowed to change. You don't just have to live in one box for your entire life. And it's also normal to try to make yourself a better person and to not really be ashamed of the things you've done in your past, because those are things that have brought you here. So
Exactly.
that's just my 2 cents on it.
Enough questions. Let's play some games, Sammy. Woo-hoo.
Okay, I'm ready.
This or that. We played this game before. You know the rules, okay?
Yeah.
Broccoli or green beans, baby.
Broccoli.
Me too. Well, I love all vegetables, but broccoli is the best.
I agree.
Gummy worms or gummy bears?
Gummy worms. They're sour. I love the
I know they're
sour.
sour.
candy.
I love also the fact that they come in different colors and stuff. They're like
Yeah.
very neon bright,
And they're
colors.
half blue, half
Yeah,
red.
and even when the with the light when at night you can see them, when the lights are off, they still shine brightly. Okay, Little Mermaid or Mulan?
Oh my gosh, those are actually my top 2 favorites, but
Really?
I would have to go with Little Mermaid. I love the water so much. And
Yeah, because you're a paddler. Paddler, paddler. You need water to paddle, right? Yeah, paddle on land, that's for sure. Mobile phone or iPad?
mobile phone. I don't own an iPad.
You never own an iPad?
No.
Oh, that's weird. Almost everybody that I know owns an iPad. I don't have an iPad, but it's just weird. Funny. Video games or board games?
I love board games, especially with my cousins. We get really competitive and there are always good prizes when you win.
No, do you play chess or checkers?
A little
A little bit.
bit, but I'm not an expert at chess. At home, we play more of Taboo and
Um,
Gestures and those kinds of games.
do they still play Scrabble or Monopoly?
Yeah, we still play Scrabble and
Oh,
Monopoly Deal now.
okay. Okay. Wonderful. Reading books or watching movies?
If I could choose both, I would choose both, but for convenience, movies.
TikTok or YouTube?
I'm such a YouTube baby. I've been watching YouTube videos for maybe half of my life,
Yeah.
and it's really one of my favorite platforms.
Yeah, I like YouTube too. I mean, TikTok is okay, but I don't trust anything made in China. I think it's a spyware. I really
That's
do. I really
fun.
believe TikTok is a spyware because they get all your information and they watch every little movement that you do and whatnot. So sorry, no TikTok for me. Game number 2. You know this game. Would you rather? Sammy, would you rather be in jail for a year or lose your life or lose a year off your life?
I think I would rather lose a year of my life. I do not think I'm the type who will survive in jail. I feel like I'd fear for my life every single day in jail. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it legal.
Well, yeah, you're just too delicate and pretty to be in jail anyway. So now let me see. Let me think of beauty queens who deserve to be in jail. No, I'm just kidding. I'll send the information to you via Instagram.
PM me.
Would you rather always be 10 minutes late or always be 20 minutes early?
This is a funny question because in reality, I am always 10 minutes late, but I would rather be 20 minutes early. It's something I've been trying my best to work on and really like pushing myself to really be strict and attending on time because, time shows that you value and respect that person who's waiting for you.
By the way, do you think that Miss World Philippines telecast will start on time or Filipino time? I don't know.
Hopefully it will start on time. Maybe we're all on the wishful thinking boat right now, but It's better to be positive, right?
Exactly. Would you rather have an easy job working for someone else or work for yourself, but work incredibly hard?
It's always been a dream of mine to be able to be my own boss. And I have already worked for many people in the past, and it really kind of just showed me that that's not really the path in life that I want to take. And I want to be able to build something that's bigger than me. So in order to do that, you really have to work hard every day. There is no rest. There are no holidays or weekends when you're working for yourself. But it's always worth it.
Exactly. Yeah, there's nothing beats being your own boss. Like I'd rather be my own boss. I don't want to take orders from anybody else. You know what I mean? That's why it's always best to be your own boss. Would you rather be born again in the same country or a different one of your choosing?
Well, the thing with the Philippines is that my family's here, and my family is really just everything to me. And I don't think it would be the same for me if I was born somewhere else and raised without all of my cousins and all of my titos and titas and my lolas and my extended family. So I really love it here in the Philippines, and I'm really proud to be a Filipina.
Okay. But, well, just for argument's sake, in your next life, would you still choose to be Filipino and live in the Philippines? Or would you rather?
Yeah, I think there's so much to be proud of for our country. Even if we're not in the best state right now, there's just like a multitude of things that I'm so happy about living here with, So
Good.
It's a lot more fun here.
It's more fun in the Philippines, they say. Now, would you rather be the first person to explore a planet or be the inventor of a drug that cures a deadly disease?
Well, as much as I love exploring and adventuring, I feel if I was able to create a drug to cure a deadly disease that many, many people suffer from, that I sort of owe that to humanity. So I would have to pick others over myself on this one.
Oh, that is so Miss World. Would you rather be an unimportant character in the last movie that you saw or an unimportant character in the last book that you read?
Well, the last movie I saw was Spider-Man in the multiverse. So I would rather be an unimportant character there just to see and witness how cool it is to be in a different universe.
Okay, that's a good one. Would you rather have a successful podcast or a successful YouTube channel? I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, ever since I was young, I've learned so much from YouTube. I've literally watched some people grow their entire families from being single to having 7 children. And if I one day I'm able to have that successful platform and, you know, help somebody get out of their shell or just be there for someone when they're in a dark place, that would be such a blessing.
Good. Good. Third game. I don't think we played this game before during our first chat. So this is brand new for you. Okay. So this game is called Give a Wrong Answer. I'm going to ask a question and you will give me a wrong answer, Miss Sam. Okay.
Okay.
So the lesson of this game is basically it's okay to be wrong. Okay, because we tend to be perfect all the time, you know. But it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be wrong once in a while. Okay,
that's a challenge.
First question, Sammy. Wrong answer. What is the capital of the Philippines?
Palawan.
Great wrong answer. Yeah, baby. Love it. Question, wrong answer. What is your favorite food, Sam?
Ampalaya.
Oh, is that bitter thing?
Yes, exactly. My mom used to have this rule that we would have to eat as many ampalaya as our age. And I would have to eat the most because I was always the oldest. Every year I would eat more and more, and it just left a bitter taste in my mouth.
What is the English word for ampalaya? What is it? Something.
It's like that shriveled cucumber.
Yeah.
Thing.
I know it's bitter. It has a bitter taste. It's
very bitter.
Yeah, it's really not one of my favorite vegetables, but I know it's very nutritious, but I just don't like it. I just don't like that bitter texture.
Just thinking about it is like
just the whole idea of it. Yeah. Bye. Next question. Wrong answer. Sam, tell me, how do you eat popcorn?
With my toes.
Oh my God, that is so shocking, but I love it. Would you like to demonstrate now? I'm just kidding. Next question. Sam, why do dogs bark?
Because they're afraid of the dark.
Oh my God, I'm looking at my dog right now. She's asleep, so she's not barking, but she looks like she's dreaming or something. Sometimes she like barks when she's dreaming.
My dog all day, all night.
All day, all night. Next question, wrong answer, Sam. What happened to Cinderella after the clock struck midnight?
She turned into a pumpkin. And never found her Prince Charming.
Never. Oh, that is so sad. I love Cinderella. She's one of my favorite fairy tale characters.
I love her too. I love that she has fairy godmothers.
I know, right? Like you have a lot of fairy godmothers from the camp. By the way, shout out to the camp official. Love you guys.
Shout out to the camp. I love you, mamas.
Last one. Wrong answer, Sammy. Who will be crowned Miss World Philippines 2022? Wrong answer.
I'm too stunned to speak. Who will be crowned Miss Philippines 2022? It will be a tie. There will be two Miss World Philippines this year.
Good one. I love that. So I can't wait to see the pageant. Wait a minute. It was originally scheduled on May 29th, but you said it was moved to June 5th.
It's going to be on June 5th. It's the final schedule. It will be held in the MOA Arena. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah. Hopefully this year's pageant will be extraordinary. I'm just looking forward to finally, being on a stage with a real live audience. I feel that would make such a difference in the experience.
Now, are you competing with some of the girls that you competed before in Miss Philippines?
I'm actually competing with one of my sisters. Her name is Simone Bernelia.
Oh, of course, Simone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simone, yeah.
Yeah, it's been an awesome thing to have a new journey with somebody who's already been there from the start of my journey. And we've really been growing together and getting closer. So it's a lot of fun.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. Comments for the win, Sam. Sam, we love you. Sam, lots of hearts. Sam is Miss World 2022. Oh, somebody says Ampalaya is bitter melon.
Bitter melon.
Bitter melon. Thank you, Chris. The best, the camp. Yes, can't wait to scream for you, baby.
All right, love the camp.
A lot of love. Thank you, fans. Sam loves you too.
Thank you, guys.
Before I let you go, is there a message that you would like to transmit to your followers all over the world, Sam? Go.
You know, to all of you who've been here from the start of my journey, I don't have any other words but that I'm extremely grateful for your love and support. For everybody who's new here following me on my Miss World journey, welcome to the Ingridable family. I am so happy to see all of you guys here, and I hope that you will be able to support me all the way to the end, all the way to June 5, and hopefully we can go together and compete in the international stage. You know, this journey would not be the same without all of you, and I wouldn't have this confidence and this grace and this greater purpose without all of those who've supported me from the start. So really, Parañaque, lalaban tayo! And I'm so excited for you guys to follow this journey. And if you want to see more of the journey, of course, you can follow me on Instagram at Sam Santamaria, or you can follow the accounts of the camp. There's my fan account run by Claudine. Shout out Claudine, which is Sam Universo. And there's also Ingrid for the World. So if you guys could go ahead and follow and like those pages on Instagram and Facebook, you'll be more updated on my journey.
That's wonderful. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and after this interview, I'm going to send all the links, put all the links in the chat, in the description box below, so people can click and follow you on your wonderful journey. You know what? I really have a very strong feeling that you will win one of the titles. I'm hoping Miss World Philippines, but you know, it could be anything. It could be anything.
Yeah.
But I see a definite crown on your pretty head. Miss Sam Santamaria. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I wish you the best of luck, and I will be keeping an eye on you, young lady.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Rafa. I'm so glad we kicked off my interviews with this one. It's always so good to talk to you, and we always have a nice, meaningful, and light conversation. So I'm
I've always meant to visit the Philippines, because the last time I was there was in 2017 January doing Miss Universe pageant.
Oh, yeah. I worked backstage for that. Actually.
Oh, get out! Oh my God!
Yeah, I was an intern at MAC, the makeup sponsor.
So no way!
That was my first experience with Miss Universe.
So if we had known each other before, then probably we would have hooked up. You know, I mean, hopefully Miss Universe is going to happen in the Philippines, and I get to go there, and hopefully we'll.
Yes, you should come visit. I'll take you around. We'll go canoeing.
See, I know how to swim, but again, there's this fear of me. If I hop on a canoe or something, it's gonna flip over or something.
That's so funny.
Are you to save me?
That's a rational fear.
It is rational fear, but hopefully, if you have a life vest, I think I'll be fine.
Definitely.
And if the water is only 4 feet deep, I'll
we'll try.
I can stand on my legs, on my feet, so that's good. So listen, you know what? We're gonna talk again after you win, okay? And because I want to know more about your experience and your journey, and how you feel about this whole pageant experience of yours. Thank you so much. I'm gonna send you the biggest virtual hug.
I'll send you a hug back. All my kisses. Mwah, mwah.
So everybody, please follow Sam's journey on her social media account. Wish her the best of luck. She's amazing, beautiful young woman. And Miss World Philippines organization, I think she's a winner right there.
Aw,
Okay.
that really
So-
warms my heart.
So listen, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day, and good luck to your journey. And I will talk to you soon, baby.
Thank you, Rafa. Mwah.
Bye, people. Bye, Sam. Take
Bye,
care.
everyone.